Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to the locker room. I know some of you are saying, locker room? What's the locker room? Well, welcome if you're here Facebook Live and you are here for a devotional. It's actually not live right now. I'm recording this Wednesday morning. We're going to let all of Crossroads in on something I do for only people who are in at Crossroads, people who have made I'm in or obsessed journey commitments. Every week I give them behind-the-scenes information, encouragement, stuff that never goes more public than this, and then that link is deleted after 48 hours. And I just didn't want to do two things today. Plus, I felt like the things that I'm going to do goes both ways. And hey, shoot, maybe you're not in the locker room. You'd love to get in the locker room. We'd love to have you in the locker room. But today, we're celebrating Thanksgiving, and I have a scriptural meditation around that, and also talking about some of the great things God's doing at Crossroads. I'm right here in my new in a new house for the last year, and who might I actually have here this Thanksgiving? I might actually have this is Louis, my first grandson. Very, very thankful for him. Watch this. He goes, watch this. What is that? Yeah, very. And his nickname is JJ because his dad's name is Junior, and so he is Junior, known as JJ. And of course, my precious daughter Lena there. All right. So anyway, they're going away because my daughter, my other daughter just had appendicitis. Appendix was had to be taken out, so she's in the hospital right now. So, man, hey, let me tell you what we're going to do here for this Thanksgiving. I'm going to sit at this table, actually a table that I made. If you're curious about that, how do I get this thing down? There it is. A table that I had made. This table came from barnwood, old abandoned barnwood at our base camp property. And I also made it with this. And down here, in case you're curious, these legs were from the bell tower, the old St. George, which is currently Crossroads Uptown. And they were supposed to be thrown away into a dumpster. I actually retrieved them out of the dumpster about a year and a half ago and thought, I might need these someday. Yes, I did. So I put on that table. Why not? We're at it. You've never been in my house. This is a huge project I just got done at Instagram. Right there, this little stone fireplace. I put that in with my own two hands. There it is. Oh, who else do we have over here? We have Winston. Winston is. Yeah, we're thankful for Winston. We're not sure how much longer we'll be thankful for Winston. He's on tough times. He's getting old. All right, so I want to talk about things that I'm thankful for at Crossroads, things that are happening, and I want to tie this to a scriptural meditation as well. I also need to get to another place where the light is better. All right. So a verse I want to share with us today, talk about, is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 10 to 12. Here's what it says. He who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will supply and multiply your seed for sowing and increase the harvest of your righteousness. You will be enriched in every way, to be generous in every way, which through us will produce thanksgiving to God. For the ministry of this service is not only supplying the needs of the saints, but is also overflowing in many thanksgivings to God. Yes, key word here happens again and again is thanksgivings. Thanksgivings. It happens a couple times, producing thanksgiving, overflowing with many to thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a great time to give thanks. It's also a great time to give other people the opportunity to be thankful. That's what this verse is saying, is that as God supplies us with seed, we have the ability to supply food for others and to multiply the seed of what God's given us. That's what happens when we give. When we give anything, God actually multiplies it. I might actually have a sandwich, which just looks like a sandwich, but when I give it to somebody else, it becomes much, much more than a sandwich. It becomes food. It becomes generosity. It becomes a means to keep them from being hungry. It becomes a means for people to realize that someone else has loved them. It becomes a means to understand that God has not forgotten them. It's so much more is given when we give something or when we give money. It turns into many additional things. And so when we get on the supply side, not just the receiving side, but the supply side, more and more people are thankful, and more people have a reason to worship our God. That's the heart of Thanksgiving. It's not a moral obligation of manners. It is the ability to be reminded that there is a God. There is a God who is so good and so vast and so personal that he has remembered me today. Whether I'm rich or poor, he's remembered me today, and he's supplying me with seeds. And because of this, it's going to produce thanksgiving. That's what it says, produce thanksgiving. And that's going to enable me to be generous in every single way. Not just every way, but actually overflowing in many thanksgivings to God. This is a Tome family tradition that we've had. I just saw Allie Patterson's talk that she gave on Facebook Live, her devotional. In case you didn't know, if you're here in the locker room, every weekday night there's a devotional that we do. I do Wednesday nights generally. Other people do other nights. And I just saw Allie's, and I got to tell you, I was actually moved to tears when I saw what she did last night, that she had copied a Tome family tradition that I created, I don't know how many years ago. And it really moved me, not just because the teaching and the Patterson family was really profound, but I just thought I had given them and many other people this practice, this illustration, and her kids will have no idea where that came from. And her kids' kids will be blessed by that tradition every Thanksgiving. And her kids' kids' kids, and her kids of her kids of her kids of her kids. And I'm going to do that for you right now. I'm going to be doing this tomorrow with our family, and I'm going to do it right now with you. And, oh gosh, I forgot. Grant, would you give me some water? We got Grant, our happy, you know what? I'm thankful for Grant, who helps us out here. So I have right here before me, this is a pitcher, a Waterford crystal that I got as a gift at the 80th birthday party of Carl Lindner. Carl is an iconic, or was an iconic Cincinnatian, owned the Cincinnati Reds, stockholder, and brought to town Fortune 100 companies, Fortune 500 companies in Cincinnati. Impressive man and impressive friend. I miss him dearly. And he invited me to an 80th birthday party. And this was what he gave everybody. It wasn't like 6 of us. It was like 600 of us or more than that. But he gave everybody this thing. It says on here, it says, only in America, gee, aren't we lucky? And actually, the way Carl would say it is, gee, aren't we lucky? That's the way he would say it. Only America, gee, aren't we lucky? I know his sons, and one of the things his sons used to talk to him about was, Dad, we're not lucky, we're blessed. Luck means there's some random force out there that just happened to land on my lap. That's different than saying there's a personal God, a personal entity that poured something into me. That is a blessing. And so every year, what we do is we go around the table with this. And let me see if I can adjust my camera angle so we can do this. Let's adjust the angle down. All right, that's not too bad. All right, so we'll say something like, you know what, I'm thankful. I'll just start with one I already said. I'm thankful for the house that God has blessed me with, which gives me the ability to house my family, and I'm thankful for my in-laws, who this house will enable them to live with us as soon as they're ready. So I'm thankful for the blessing of God on this house. Put that in there. And then it just goes around and around and around and around it goes. And I'll give you some others. I'm thankful for a church that I'm part of that is very creative and wants to enrich our lives. I'm thankful that I'm going to be going to a Thanksgiving Eve service tonight, and someone's working today and tonight, and I'm not. Someone's working to give me a great Thanksgiving Eve experience. I'm thankful for the staff and volunteers at Crossroads who are going to be serving us in our sites. You can see a Thanksgiving Eve service at any of our sites where it is, or if you can't get to one in person, you can go to the Facebook pages of any of our sites that are doing that. That would be Oakley, Florence, Eastside, Westside, Mason. So any of you in Central Kentucky or any place else where you can't get to your own site, you can log in there and check that out. Each one of those sites are going to be streaming their own thing live on Facebook. So that's tonight, Wednesday night. at 7 p.m. I'm thankful. You know what I'm thankful for? I'm thankful that I live with a community of people at Crossroads who are incredibly generous. Thanksgiving food drive. Man, well done, well done. We had 90,000 pounds of food sent to South Africa. 90,000 pounds. 16,000 food items donated to local pantries. We collected enough food to feed over 100,000 people. Man, that's seed that is multiplying. That's what that verse talks about. It's seed that's multiplying, and people are overwhelming. They're overflowing in their generosity. One of the stories that came from that is there was a men's recovery group. They're all trying to get sober. They were all in jail last Thanksgiving, and this year they're in recovery together, and they sat around the table sharing what they're thankful for and had a Thanksgiving meal while they did that from a family that donated it from Crossroads. Man, well done, phenomenal. I'm also thankful for the generosity of our church when it comes to sacrifice. A young man who I visited in juvenile detention, I mentioned this last week, and that he wanted to go to Crossroads Mason student group. He's now living in Hamilton. His mom has 2 jobs. She has to have jobs or else he couldn't go back to live with her. His mom has 2 jobs, couldn't get him to with a student ministry night to Friendsgiving. And I just put on this broadcast, I said, hey, if anyone wants to help drive a kid, pick them up, drive them, that'd be great. And my gosh, people just lit up because you're in the freaking locker room. Like, hell yeah, I'll get in and get on it and make it happen. Absolutely. He got picked up. He came to Friendsgiving. He had an amazing time. He's going to keep going. And we had more people. It was overflowing number of people that wanted to serve him. So I'm thankful for that at Crossroads. Very, very cool. Very thankful. I'm also thankful for the other opportunities we have here at Crossroads to give at Christmas. You can be part of our Christmas drive. We give gifts to the children of prisoners who will not normally get a gift. We have other ways that we're trying to meet people's needs and wants. So check out your own site and during the next 2 weekends if you want to be involved in the Christmas gift drive. I'm thankful that God is also using us and reaching students at Ohio University. Yes, we've got reaching students at Eastern Kentucky, at Kentucky, UC, Miami, and now at the University of Ohio. We've got a young woman who heard the story of my daughter. I should fill up for Mariah. Yes, I should. That's my youngest, and Lena, who I just mentioned, and JJ, who I just mentioned, and of course my great son-in-law Nick Jr. Lena got in touch with this young woman who learned Lena's story of how she brought Crossroads Uptown into being, and said, "Well, I could do that." So she's hosting. I think she had 12 students in her dorm room most recently, and we look to see that work at Ohio University grow. I'll tell you what, if you can get the vibrancy, if you can get students, your thing will be, whatever it is, it will be healthy. We're doing all we can here at Crossroads to lean into the next generation and stay young. Yes, as I get more and more gray, and every time I see myself on video, I'm like, dang, dude, freaking getting old. I'm trying to stay young attitudinally and trying to keep our church staying young. It's a big deal. So, hey, I think that's where I'm going to end. I would just invite you and oh gosh, I have a UK. Everyone at UC is all bummed with that. I have UC cups too. Relax. I'm an equal opportunity offender. I'm for every place where there's somebody who knows Jesus or needs to know Jesus, and Crossroads is present. But Thanksgiving this weekend, we have Thanksgiving services, and someone might be lonely. They might be tired from the Thanksgiving festivities, or they also might be lonely. Maybe it wasn't as good as they thought. It could be a good weekend to invite somebody this weekend to help them know that they are known and appreciated and loved. I could keep going with this. Beautiful, powerful thing of this is where I'll end, is as I keep going, eventually this sucker is going to overflow. When I do this, I put a cookie sheet underneath of this vase so that when it overflows, you can keep going, because it's really fun. As you overflow it, you keep pouring it in. Everyone goes around the table, around the circle, and you keep pouring it in. Here's the other thing I found, is that people feel really guilty when they're the one that overflows it. I don't know why that is. Why do we feel weird if we're the one that overflows it? I think it's because we all sort of have this orphan mentality that I'm not worthy to overflow it. Oh, I don't want to be the one to overflow it. You are worthy. God loves you. He has died for you. He has poured out his blood for you. He has given you a full measure, pressed down, overflowing. You are worthy of God giving things to. He enjoys giving things to you, and enjoy your Thanksgiving and going around the table, even beyond when it overflows, to let the love and the gratitude continue going. So, hey, that's it. Welcome to the locker room. We love having a bunch of guests inside the locker room. We'd love to have you in the locker room if you want to be in at Crossroads and have an amazing, amazing, amazing holiday before you. God bless you.